Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for December 20th. Currently looking at the U.S. Japanese yen pair. This particular pair closed up on Friday, did have a very large range, broke through previous resistance but pulled back prior to the close. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Do look for it to potentially go as high as 91.39, possibly as low as 88.28. Look for some resistance around 90.75 and look for some support around 88.90. Okay, now switching over to the Euro USD. This particular pair closed lower but did form a doji bar. We are looking for this pair to continue moving down, but this doji bar could signal a reversal, although we've had some doji bars along the way that basically just signaled that the market was still moving to the downside. So we'll have to see if this is a reversal or not. We are looking for it to potentially move as high as 144.77, possibly as low as 141.90. Look for some resistance around 144.11 and look for some support around 142.50. Now looking at the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair moved, had a pretty large range on Friday, did close down for the session. We are looking for it to move sideways with a heavy bias to the downside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 163.35, possibly as low as 159.53. Look for some resistance around 162.50 and look for some support around 160.50. Okay, now looking at the US Swiss, this pair pulled back during Friday's session, closed lower, did form an inside bar, so it could get a breakout. As you can see, this pair has gapped down a significant amount, about 32 pips. Odds are it will retrace prior to the close, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. The nice thing about this gap is if you do play it, it gapped down, so you would look to buy and go the other direction, which is in the direction of the trend, which is always good. Look for this pair to continue moving higher with a bias to the upside. We are looking for this pair to possibly move as high as 10551, possibly as low as 10335. Look for some resistance around 10510 and look for some support around 10375. Okay, we really don't have any significant news announcements coming out tomorrow. Let me show you what I'm looking at. We do have the Euro USD moving down very strong. We have gotten several inside bar and doji type bars that have been created, followed by a strong move to the downside. Now we have a doji bar here that that was not an inside bar that we had, and the market gapped down at the open. And as you can see, the movement from the open to the low has been very little. So you do have a potential here for a reversal. Will this happen? I'm not positive on this reversal. We have a very strong move to the downside. It has moved down for a good while. So if we get a reversal, this is what I'm looking for. Looking to buy at the high of this doji bar that we had on Friday. I am looking for it to pull back up to at least this area. That's somewhere between 90 and 100 pips worth of movement. Nice thing about that is you can put your stop loss below the low of this session, basically like a 1-to-1. Look for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Let me actually just draw some horizontal lines, be a little bit easier to read for this. Okay, right about the 92 pip level for that one. Right, the low there is around 107, pretty close to the 1-to-1 risk to reward. I did get an email about this type of a trade, and the person was saying that we should be looking to go the opposite direction because the trend is to the downside. And the thing with reversals, if you look for reversals, usually they either hit or they don't. You don't get a lot of false breakouts. Because you are going in the opposite direction. When you get a reversal, it's usually pretty strong. especially within the first couple of sessions of the reversal on the day time frame. So the nice thing about them, yes, they don't always hit, but and they're not going the direction of the trend, but when they do hit, they usually hit and move pretty quick through that area, especially if you're looking on the 4-hour, hour to 4-hour time frame. So just wanted to make that note. The fact that we had a gap down also kind of intensifies this, because we know that the odds are when we have a gap down that we have a very high odds that it will retrace the gap, which it's done. But if we have strength enough for it to continue up and not retrace this breakout, if we don't retrace to the open prior to breaking this, the odds are even stronger that we're going to move through it within this session, possibly the next. So definitely keep an eye on this. This is one way of using several patterns together. We have a doji bar here that was not an inside bar. We have a gap down looking for it to retrace. It has retraced the gap, but look for it to continue higher. If we get a break here prior to it coming back down to the open of this week, then look for a buy and look to take out basically 90 pips out of the market. Now, odds are that this trade is a high probability trade due to all those factors. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.